Okay, let's look at some of the players. Here's some players that you may not have heard of, being that you're starting out, you've just picked up the bass. I want to point you in the right direction so you can listen to some great guys. And these are the people that will inspire you, hopefully, and keep you playing. That's what it's all about, because it's in these early days of just getting through this stuff, you need some inspiration. So here's some people to Google, or you may well know them already. The first one I'll name, you probably do know anyway, is Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. He's quite a flamboyant style of bass playing and all of that stuff. He kind of digs in quite hard with the bass, makes a good noise out of it. I mean, some of those bass riffs are just great, really kind of aggressive and in your face, and they work really well. John Paul Jones is worth checking out for some of the earlier bands. Led Zepp's bass player. I mean, all those bass lines were just great. As a band collectively, they were fantastic, but check out John Paul Jones' bass playing. Paul McCartney, the Beatles. For any of you who haven't heard of the Beatles, shame on you. And you've got to check out Paul McCartney's bass playing. Some memorable lines. I mean, just a lot of melodic bass lines in Paul McCartney's stuff and written around the most awesome songs, or the other way round, however you want to look at it. But check out any of the Beatles albums, preferably anything a little later than the 60s. It's got some lovely bass playing on it. And the earlier stuff's still good, but some of the better stuff's after the 60s, I would say. Victor Wooten. Victor Wooten has a completely unique style, all of his own. Played with a band called Bella Fleck, now he's off on his own. Has this kind of slap style which involves lots of triplets where he can hit the downbeats with it and catch a note on the way back up again, getting all these most amazing triplets. And it's totally unique to him. He is an amazing bass player, so check out all of that Victor Wooten stuff. That'll certainly keep you interested, even on YouTube. I know there's a lot of stuff on YouTube for him. Billy Sheehan from Mr. Big, early days, does a lot of the kind of, you know, a lot of tapping stuff. Not really set up for it here, but his basses are kind of scalloped on the necks here. A lot of front pickups and preamps and stuff, and he can do this tapping thing really well. So check out Billy Sheehan. Mark King, Level 42. Again, a lot of you younger guys may not have heard of Mark King or Level 42. Check out the Level 42 album. Mark King kind of got this left and right hand thing going. It was very much a drummer's thing. And rhythmic, as far as rhythmic playing goes, that stuff is very, very well worth checking out. And also there's quite a lot of really nice melodic stuff like June Tune on that album. I mean, it goes from one area to another, that album. A lot of slapping, some pick style, that melodic chordal stuff. So check out Mark King. You'll find some really interesting stuff on him. And lastly, really, among others, John Deacon from Queen. John Deacon's bass playing, I mean, this has been sampled as a bass riff a million times. Like memorable bass lines. I mean, great sound, great bass lines, again, in songs that work really well. So there's just a few. Stick them in Google, YouTube, and check out some of these guys. I should mention, lastly, for all of those guys who really are into kind of fusion-style bass playing, the daddy of bass guitar, as far as I'm concerned, is a guy called Jaco Pastorius, who's now dead. But he was just an awesome bass player. You can check out some of his stuff. There's more than you can possibly imagine on YouTube, and loads of people trying to copy him, so there's no shortage of it on there. He's got a very poppy style bass, and it's all based off the back pickup on your bass, really. I mean, it's all very tight and poppy on kind of the fretted front, which you played a lot of fretted, and then there's some fretless bass lines that are just fantastic, all kind of singing bass lines. So check all these guys out. These are the people that keep you playing and keep you interested, because I know it's difficult in these early days. So off you go. Okay, we've made it to the end. Now, all of this stuff that I've shown you within the DVD is going to be a fantastic foundation for your bass playing to build on top of. We're going to build up the hand strength. We're using all the right fingers on both hands. We've got all the techniques hopefully covered. Now, practice. You need to really get a good practice schedule in place. Don't stick the bass back in its box and shove it under the bed. You want to put it somewhere really accessible, where you can just pick it up, even if it's not plugged in, and practice these exercises. So by the sofa or just in your music room. So when you go in there, you sit down 5 minutes, even just play some of these exercises. That's going to make the difference. Also check out some of these bass players I've recommended to you, because they're inspirational and they will keep you on the track to learning. And all of these scales, the major scales, minor scale, minor arpeggios, and all of those bits I showed you there, practice all these sections and until you're really, really happy with them. Make sure you know where all the notes are on the neck. And really, you will progress very, very quickly doing this. And then check out some of the other Lick Library bass DVDs. And you can get onto these and start learning some of those bass lines quickly. It gets great from that point out. So, once you get the motor skills together and the playing. So I'll see you on the next DVD.